Hello, thank you all for coming. I'm excited to welcome you all to our third annual virtual 100,000 Poets for Change open mic event, hosted by poetry group North Florida Poetry Hub. As a reminder, this event will be recorded and uploaded to the North Florida Poetry Hub YouTube channel and forwarded to 100,000 Poets for Change for preservation with Stanford and Florida State Universities. 100,000 Poets for Change is an organization co-founded by Terry Carrion and the late Michale Rothenburg in 2011. Their mission is to unite poets, musicians, artists, and activists, get them together to create, perform, and demonstrate simultaneously with other communities around the world to call attention to important issues such as the environment, wars, violation of human rights, racism, gender inequality, homelessness, war, police brutality, and poverty, just to name a few. And by doing so, effecting positive change. Today is the global event for 100,000 Poets for Change, and thousands of poets, artists, and musicians are participating in demonstrations and events, both live and virtual, around the world. Readers will be called up in order on the sign-up sheet, and just please say your name and where you're from if you care to share your location. Be considerate of everyone's time. We can have 5 minutes for each presentation. You can read one or two poems without explanation. You can share screen for artwork, but please don't share screen your poetry. Please stay till the end of the event, if at all possible. Thank you so very much for coming, and we'll get started right away. So the first person on our list is Sally Walkenstein, and I'll call her up to the mic. Go ahead, Sally.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. My name is Sally Constein. I live in Ponte Vedra, Florida. Insurrection. That was the day that decency died. The devil rejoiced as reasonable voices were drowned down and out, blown to the wind. Rome was burning. Nero nodded. Madame Defarge knitted as the crowd conquered our once caring country. Careless Pandora opened that box again. The world's evil swirled. Hope was hiding, head down, who knows where. Lady Liberty was lost in a sorrowful sea of tears. I was filled with fears. Okay.
Thank you, Sally.
When mass shootings become routine, when fairly decent citizens barely shake their heads in dismay, when pundits and politicians race to the mic to deny that their hate-filled words and antiquated gun laws have inspired and enabled their hideous crimes, when gun lobbyists loudly proclaim that guns are great, never to blame, when assault weapons abound, but books are banned, heartless, horrific crimes happen. When will this end? When we elect braver leaders, selfless leaders, who offer more than thoughts and prayers, when we uplift those whose true family values include saving our children from the fright of gun violence, when we use inclusive, not divisive words, When we work together for the greater good, we can learn to live with confidence and trust. But when? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sally, for that. Okay, next on our list is Suzanne Austin Hill.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Suzanne Austin Hill. I'm from New York and I currently live in Ruskin, Florida. And I'd like to share two poems with you today. The first, 1921 Tulsa, Froth with Isms. Elevator jerks Negro shoeshiner into white girl. City burns. Details varied from person to person. Story exaggerated with every telling. Regardless, satisfaction would only be found in a lynching. An inflammatory headline quickly bears witness. Dick is arrested and taken to the courthouse. Two mobs form, one about 25 in number. Fearful that a tree will once more be forced to bear strange fruit, fully aware they can only defend Dick, themselves, and their community, Greenwood. Another about 1,500. With a tenacious grip on white supremacy, Jim Crow, land lust, and jealousy, they dance the dance, dispersing, reforming, arming, rearming, out of control. A familiar recipe for destruction and loss of life. Smoldering fires are given life again. 35 blocks of beautiful Black-owned homes, many mansions, prosperous businesses. This, their home, called Black Wall Street, is where the outnumbered retreat, followed by whites who shoot to kill, damage, loot, and burn it to the ground. Relieved of their ebony bounty by imprisoning some 6,000 souls. Reports of death began at 36. 26 were Negro. 2 days events grounded in hate, anger, and prejudice. Unnecessary, indiscriminate killing of a considerable number of human beings. Circumstances of atrocity and cruelty contrary to the usages of civilized people. Purpose, persecution, revenge, and plunder. What would you call it? Riot or massacre? My second poem is called Modern Day Enlightenment. Eyes immediately drawn to the fluorescent, quad tube light bulb in my desk lamp. Stare too long, it hurts. The discomfort is a reminder of progress, for it is the bulb's carbon filament invented and patented by Lewis Latimer, not Thomas Edison, doing the work. Pointed to the collective genius of African American, its light, a retrospective equalizer. With it, things are seen as they really were and remain, unfair, inequitable. We are a riddle for long perplexed Europeans. The Academy asks, what is the cause of the sub-Saharan Africans' peculiar hair texture and dark skin? What they really want to know is, why are we Black? From free thinkers, empiricists, Barrère, Bernet, Montesquieu, Voltaire, Hume, Kant, and Hegel, varied non-scientific rhetorical responses spew forth under the guise of illumination, 18th century verbiage. We are Black because of blood, bile, and brain size, climate, decreased cognition, food, images presented to our expectant mothers, inferiority, laziness, no curiosity, pineal glands, semen, skin stained, unthinking vapors. Add the blind observation, Africa has no light-worthy endeavors, and you have the original recipe for race. This proves powerful and profitable as we are perceived menial-minded merchandise. How are we perceived, viewed, seen, unseen? Are we illusions, never to be understood? Quantum leaps of faith will personalize polarizing experiences. Quantum leaps of historical re-envision will transform trauma to triumph. Resolution. Racism is a social construct with no scientific bases to support observed biological differences. When these differences became tools of sustained supremacy and perpetual profit, slavery became systematic. However, in the darkness of ignorance, when the brightest light of truth shines, the cockroaches of untruth scatter. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. All right. Next up is Chris Castle.
Hi, my name is Chris Castle, and I live in St. Augustine, Florida. I will read one poem. Breathing Room. The exits and entrances of my breathing are run ragged. My close shifts to the rise and fall of my diaphragm, where inhalation should flow without my awareness. But now I must try to regulate every exhalation in this dark place, hidden from the invaders. Such pleasure and contentment watching my daughter sleep, her small round stomach moving peacefully up and down, breathing, an unconscious act tantamount to being alive. I worry that she will wake and cry, alerting the soldiers, stomping above us, seeming to step upon us, hoping for the slightest sound from their silent query. Come the invaders, devouring the air to howl beastly threats. Is this an affect to try to conceive themselves that those they kill are lesser beings? Have they not seen the gentleness of their own children reaching out in innocence to be held in love? Bellowing, blaring, heavy feet descending, small beams of light illuminate our frantic faces. They reveal infants held tightly in desperation, and starving toddlers hiding behind the legs of their not much older brothers and sisters. Flashes make bright circles in their eyes, and then the lights go out. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right. Let's see.
My name's M.A. Hastings, and I'm from Gainesville, Florida. And the first poem I'd like to read is called Black, So No. I can't help him because he is black. He could be shot in his front or his back. I could have helped him had he been white. Not my first thought when I saw him that night. He was lying face up, closed eyes in his car, between the door and a woman, a bridge just too far. Around and out from the dark lot I went, to my supervisor, a voicemail, quickly I sent. At home and out of the clutches of fright, I was able to consider the man in the night. Was he sleeping? From a long day tired? Was he sick? Perhaps in substances mired. As I unpacked, the thought came to me to call the police, to just check and see. As I picked up my phone, it dawned on me, even sleeping while black can mean RIP. 3 years, in every news cycle, I get madder and sadder. They're not domestic terrorists. They are people who matter. God bless America. We surely do need it. Your command was, love one another. Please help us to heed it. My next one's called, Here's the Thing. Once upon a time, not so long ago, my views were mine, and yours were thine, and how you voted wasn't business of mine. No news was breaking, whether real or faking, of pent-up white anger spawning crimes of hate. How did getting justice for all get less important than the location of where any one person last ate? COVID has been a cruelly good lesson teacher. It affected all lives, from bartenders to preachers. It was a way for all to reevaluate what was in the end of the journey important, rather than the short sprint from the gate. There will always be irritations when those relatives to Turkey Day come, but why the estrangement over elections lost or won? We can again safely together sing "My Country 'Tis of Thee," "Sweet Land of Liberty," but we haven't been so good about loving our neighbors again. What if we were to lay aside our puffed up pride and hopped on the reconciliation train across this land of amber grain and made walking in grace and in love a thing? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. All right. Next up is Laura Dill.
I have two paintings with two short poems. So I'd like to share my screen.
Go ahead.
There it goes. This first painting and poem are called They. It is a call and response. They are unacceptable. They are we. They are weird. They are we. They are scary. They are we. They are different. They are we. They are gay. They are we. They are queer. They are we. They are trans. They are we. They are Jewish. They are we. They are Muslim. They are we. They are Black. They are we. They're Hispanic. They are we. They are Asian. They are we. They're foreign. They are we. They're homeless. They are we. They're refugees. They are we. They're poor. They are we. They are disabled. They are we. They are mentally ill. They are we. They are tattooed. They are we. Hmm. They are we. They are we. They are accepted. They are we. They are here. They are we. They are welcome. They are we. They are loved. They are we. They are we. They are we. They are we. My second poem, I'm going to stop share and then start share again to change the painting. This painting and poem are both titled Love Riotous. Live a life ruled by love. Meet hate with a wall of love. Be loving and kind. Lift others. Know you are loved and deserving of that love. Love whomever you choose. Love even those who deny your equality but do not accept their warped reasoning. You will never run out of love. Love yourself forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All right. Next up is Pat Krause.
Hello, I'm Pat Krause. I live in Ponte Vedra, Florida, and I'm going to read one poem today entitled Desperation. Until we hear their story, how can we be their judge? Until we see the blistered feet which traipsed for miles in blazing heat, traveling dusty, lonely roads, a sleeping child, their heavy load, how can we be their judge? Or jumped into a swirling river, trying desperately to get across, risking life and limb, and then to suffer tragic loss. When did we last know hunger, our bed a wooden floor, or stood in line for hours only to be turned away and told, your story doesn't matter? Even as we see their pain, their sadness and fatigue, we avert our eyes and criticize, as hope for safety surely dies. As long as hearts refuse to see their pain and hunger and fear, a door is slammed on hope when safety seemed so near. As hardened minds and hearts close borders and build walls, our best selves surely die. Our capacity for goodness stalls. If we look upon the stranger equating them with danger, we become a world where kindness and compassion are sadly out of fashion.
Thank you, Pat. Very nice. All right. Next up is Don Lubin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Don Lubin. I live in South Central Pennsylvania, and I have two poems to read today. The first is called New Old World Order. We want you to do whatever we need. We want you to do it till your damn fingers bleed. We won't let you stop till your heart starts to pop, so you'll do what you're told from now till you're old. Sisyphean tasks must count every damn grain in every damn basket. Yes, we'll drive you insane. Don't ever complain or we'll make it much worse, because we'll carry you out in a big old black hearse. We're corporate America and we're here to stay. It's the new world order. We're going to make you all pay. Got one foot on the ladder, first rung down to hell. We'll bedevil you, level you. You can't ever tell. There ain't no relief. Got to work through your grief. You'll be bought and then sold like we play with our gold. We'll keep you all fighting amongst your poor selves like little toy soldiers up there on the shelf. Ignoring the fact we've got hearts made of stone, we actually take pleasure in hearing you groan. For we're corporate America in this here new age. It's the new world order. Don't ask us for change. And this next one is called Homeless. My name is Marie. I'm 29 years old, although people usually think I'm 40 something. Have no family, don't know my mom and dad, can't remember. I think they just let me go. Never did have a boyfriend. They all thought I was too crazy. I live on Walnut Street, not in a house, but on the street. My legs ache so much, I wish I could see a doctor. They gave me a counselor some time ago, but that money ran out quick. Same people pass by me every day on their way home from work. They never look at me, never talk to me. Do I make them feel guilty? Do I make them cry? Do I get them angry? I just don't know. Now I'm tired. I just need to find some newspaper to keep warm. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. All right. Next up is Sipra Roy.
My name is Shipra Roy. I am from New York City, and I have one poem and two paintings. First, the poem. The title of the poem is Questions. We are born with plethora of swarming questions, most are unsolved. Wait for future generations. Throughout the ages, mind spins the maze. Why this earth is tilted towards injustice and inequality between poor and rich? Why the brutality of war still persists? Apartheid of caste, color, gender, religion split the world, bring undesired alienations. How to face climate change, ecological contamination, and fatal future pandemics that shake the global print. Poets, philosophers, and scientists absorbed in researching to bring back balance in the universe and predict destiny. Some are solved, but to brainwash the mass mind, the intellectuals jumped upon present, jumped from present to the future, introducing aliens and AI chat GPT as rescuers. Traditional questions like, who am I? Does God exist? Now eclipsed by the new adventure and romance with alien and AI. Bliss of innocence is enjoyed only by ignorant who abstain from staring the brain into scrambled egg. Rest of we are chimera or myth of nutmeg. Most enigmatic question is what fascinates us to clean the earth in spite of knowing from the beginning that we are born to die. Thank you all. Let's sing. And I have painting just to show, not a poem on this. This is my, can you see? This is that I first got painting on canvas. This is a trial of self-portrait, but it is a trial, not successfully I had done it. And this is a portrait of a lazy, wealthy woman just drowsing and waiting in a beauty parlor. Thank you.
Thank you, Sipra. Okay, next up is Paula. Is she with us? There she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I have one poem, and it is in memory of my sister-in-law who made a change in the world by making bread. And it's called Hands for Bread. She went through war and many other things. Don't learn to make bread, her mother said. It's hard work. Your hands will grow heavy. I want to be like you, Mama. I love to help you give bread. She was 12. Study hard in America. She bit her lip as her eldest left with one small suitcase bearing only his uncle's favorite bread and 2 changes of clothing. She was 28. The Iraqi bombs are coming. Let's go, her children pleaded. But we need flour and water jugs. What will you eat? Nane, Nane, everyone else is running for the mountainside. Hide in the drainage pipes until I catch up. She fed her 8 children and neighbors in caves, bread crafted over firestone by hands and arms strong from years of practice. She was 37. Ame Goltala, Aunt, can we try? You watch me. She sat cross-legged on our kitchen tile, my grandson studying her knead to perfection with rock-hard arms. In the light of Florida dawn, outside waiting for her, the gas fire ring heated inside a homemade metal cylinder. Her fingers hurt while expertly shaping rows of round loaves to flatten and toss and bake. She still had hands for bread. She was 58. No one uses our rusted tin bread oven anymore. She returned to her homeland, gray hair streaked with years of aches and pains and love. Her second oldest son buys bread at the market these days. The rise of her yeast deflated. She was 63. Now my husband makes bread. It's not the same as his sister's. I've tried many times to mix and knead the dough, make perfect round balls to toss and turn, but my hands are not the same as hers. I miss her most when morning light slants on the porch where her hands made bread. She's gone, but forever rises in hearts proofed with her love. She was 73. And that was for my sister-in-law, Goltala. She's Persian, was Persian.
Thank you so much, Paula. That was beautiful. All right. Do we have, yes, Lisa Berger is next.
Hi, I'm Lisa Berger. I live in the Atlanta area, but I grew up in Largo and went to Florida State University. So I have a poem. It's sort of a 2-part poem. It's called Opposable Thumbs, the Dichotomy of Hands. Opposable thumbs, our ability to do this, touch our fingers together. But so what? All great apes and every monkey can do this. But what makes us human, or more than primordial primates, is that our fingers speak and our hands control. We enumerate, counting our blessings. We can spell for the deaf. But along with our thumbs, we oppose each other. We point and blame. We point out gender, race, and ages. We rank our order, first, second, third. We wag, scold our transgressions, and hush each other's expressions. They prod us to do better, pick apart our efforts, and constantly poke for attention. But I've learned to turn the finger around. I point to my successes and intelligence. I scratch my head and solve my own problems. Look in the mirror and remind me that I am number one. I beckon my future to me. I raise two fingers to declare a truce with my detractors, and raise one to those who refuse my peace. Then the fingers come together to form the dichotomy of hands. They can stroke and pleasure, or slap and bruise. Give the okay, or a refusal. Gesture to come close, or dismiss. They can hold a pen to write, to inspire, or imprison. We wave hello, then have to say goodbye. We raise one for permission and cover our mouths in horror. We can raise two in celebration or cower in submission. They can pick up a tool to hold and build, or a weapon to destroy. They can sculpt, create art, or rip and tear to shreds. Hold fast or strangle. Ball up to break down a barrier or a face. Together, our hands can cover our mouths in excitement or our faces in shame. They can pull one close or push them away. We can cradle our lover's face or crush it and their dignity. They can clasp another's hand, joining us together as brothers and sisters, or clasp upon one another, on themselves in prayer. How are you using your hands? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hands can applaud. Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. That was great. All right. Next up on our list is Shambhavi.
Hi, I'm Sony. I'm based in Jacksonville, Florida, and I have one poem. Meant that it didn't always used to be like this. You cry that what will take you, but we were born and we have lived and we have promised. So if the floods come, we will build rafts of body and soul and bind them together with what is left of our despair. The wind may howl as we shake, but let us bend and bend until the day breaks. And if at the end of it all, the fire chases us to the very brink, and the air becomes more sour than sweet, let us fill our lungs with music and burn singing to the beat. In the cold and dark of this long night, you tell me you don't know how to go on. I say there is still a life for us. There are hands to hold and hope to foster. In the earth, there is an everlasting mother, and in the sky, an invincible father. There are gardens of sisters who kiss the earth and bring forth the bloom. There are rivers of brothers, braving the storm to knit together hope with which to cover us. So, dearest, relinquish your tears to the sea, press your hands flush to the ground, and feel that great heartbeat that pulses through us all. We're not done, not quite yet. The night may be long, but I promise there is always tomorrow.
Thank you, Sony. Okay, next up is Diane Rabideau-Wise.
My name is Diane from Florida. I'm going to read a poem entitled My Name. about Black porters of yesteryear. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Up, then down. My name's not George. It's Brown. Step down. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Train is late. Busy season will wait at the gate. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. A drink? Of course. Brown's my name. My name's not George. Brown baggage. Brown's the name. Skin's the same. It's God's plan. It's who I am. George is not my name. The caveat being that by calling all people in a group the same name, the individuals lose their identity.
Thank you, Diane. All right, so next up is Mehmet Güns from Turkey.
My poem is called What If? And it talks about the human nature and how do we struggle every single day, day in and day out. Here it goes. What if we didn't have any pain? What if we didn't have any gain? What if we forget our cruel present days? What if we let go our countless crooked ways? What if we forgive our bygone memories? What if we live for now with no worries? What if life was fair, colored, and cool? What if life didn't deter and be a fool? What if our hearts did breezily beat? What if our bodies once lost its heat? What if we woke as the free with esteem? What if our life, our creed, our hopes were merely a dream? What if we all hold hands as one? What if we would be giving and forgiving like the shining sun? What if we had a room to call a place? What if we did fit in and called it merely a grace? What if we saw what's coming? What if we saw what's going? What if we had it all and all had it? What if we called it or named it bit by bit? What if we all were homeless, displaced, and lost? What if we didn't have all like most? What if we let out what's broken? What if we were young and mistaken? What if we had all, but not all we had? What if we did understand? What if still a stiff if? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehmet.
It's a pleasure and honor.
All right. So that leaves me. Finding peace. If the world found its peace, there would be no more war. Hatred drifting away over old battlefields. If the world found its peace. If the world found its peace, there would be no more hunger. We would focus on feeding each other. If the world found its peace. If the world found its peace, there would be no more hatred. Humanity sought equality and fairness. If the world found its peace. If the world found its peace, we would restore our environment and our planet would heal. If the world found its peace. If the world found its peace. If the world found its peace. Thank you. Okay, so that concludes our reading. And I want to thank everyone for being here for this third annual open mic. And we'll see each other next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.